Welcome to Shadow of History, where we unravel the mysterious, dark, and untold stories from world history. Today, we journey back to a moment that forever altered the course of humanity. A single morning when for thousands in Hiroshima, time seemed to stop. This is the story of August 6, 1945, a day marked by unimaginable devastation and profound human resilience, as told through survivor accounts, historical records, and fragments of memory scorched into the collective conscience of our world. It was just after dawn, and the city of Hiroshima awoke to another humid summer morning. Housewives prepared breakfast, children readied for school, and office workers hurried through the narrow, bustling streets. The city, nestled along the Ota River, was alive with the rhythms of daily existence. But above, invisible to those below, the American B-29 bomber Enola Gay soared silently across the sky, carrying a single payload with the code name Little Boy. At precisely 8:15 a.m., the bomb was released. It fell for 43 seconds before detonating at approximately 600 meters above the city center. In that instant, a blinding flash, brighter than the sun, erupted across Hiroshima. For many, this was the last sensation, a searing light, followed by an all-consuming wave of heat and force. Time, for those at ground zero, was obliterated. Eyewitnesses would later describe the moment in fragments. "I saw a bluish-white flash," one survivor recalled, "and then everything went dark." Another, a schoolgirl named Keiko, remembered feeling as though the world had exploded, the shockwave hurling her across the classroom. Those who survived the initial blast emerged into a landscape unrecognizable. Trees stripped bare, buildings reduced to skeletal frames, and fires raging as far as the eye could see. The atomic bomb released energy equivalent to approximately 15,000 tons of TNT. Temperatures at the hypocenter soared to over 4,000 degrees Celsius. Within a radius of 1 mile, nearly every structure was obliterated. The intense heat carbonized bodies where they stood, leaving behind only shadows etched into stone steps and walls, a chilling reminder of lives erased in an instant. These shadows of Hiroshima would become silent witnesses to the horror of that day. In the immediate aftermath, the city descended into chaos. Wounded men, women, and children stumbled through the ruins, their clothes tattered and skin burned. Many were unrecognizable, their injuries so severe that even family members could not identify them. Survivors described an eerie silence, broken only by distant cries for water, as thousands wandered in shock and pain. The rivers filled with those seeking relief from their burns, and many perished there, their final moments spent in search of comfort. Medical facilities, themselves damaged or destroyed, were overwhelmed. Doctors and nurses worked tirelessly, improvising treatments with limited supplies. Radiation sickness, a phenomenon then unknown, began to manifest in the following days. Hair loss, vomiting, and bleeding, symptoms that baffled even the most experienced physicians. The true nature of the weapon used against Hiroshima would only become clear as the suffering continued to unfold. The human toll was staggering. By the end of 1945, an estimated 140,000 people, nearly half the city's population, had died as a result of the bombing. Many more would succumb in the following years to injuries and radiation-related illnesses. Among the victims were schoolchildren, conscripted for wartime labor, and entire families caught in the blast as they went about their daily routines. The stories of survivors, or hibakusha, reveal both unimaginable loss and extraordinary endurance. Take, for example, the testimony of Dr. Michihiko Hachiya, director of the Hiroshima Communications Hospital. In his diary, he chronicled the immediate aftermath. "My house was flattened. My wife and I crawled out from the wreckage. The sky was an ominous yellow, and everything around us seemed to be burning. We saw people moving like ghosts, silent, covered in ash, their faces swollen and unrecognizable." Another survivor, a teenage girl named Setsuko, recounted searching for her family amid the ruins. "I called for my mother, but there was no answer. Everywhere, people were begging for water. I saw a line of figures, some crawling, some stumbling, headed for the river. The smell of burning flesh filled the air. I felt as if I had entered a nightmare from which I would never wake. For the rest of the world, news of the bomb's destructive power came in the days that followed. Images of Hiroshima's flattened landscape, of the charred remains of its people, shocked the global community. The bomb was hailed by some as a technological marvel and a means to hasten the end of World War II. But for those who survived, it was a curse, a wound that would never fully heal. In the years after the bombing, Hiroshima became a symbol of both the horror of nuclear war and the resilience of the human spirit. The city was rebuilt, its people determined to transform tragedy into hope. The Peace Memorial Park now stands at the heart of Hiroshima, dedicated to the memory of those who perished and to the pursuit of a world without nuclear weapons. The atomic bomb dome, one of the few structures left standing near the hypocenter, remains a silent testament to the power unleashed that morning. Survivors have dedicated their lives to telling their stories, ensuring that the world never forgets what happened when time stopped in Hiroshima. Their testimonies remind us that the true cost of war is measured not in victories or losses, but in human lives, each one precious, each one irreplaceable. Their voices call out across the decades, urging us to remember, to reflect, and to strive for a future where such devastation is never repeated. Thank you for joining us on Shadow of History as we explored the day time stopped in Hiroshima. If this story moved you, consider subscribing to the channel for more mysterious, dark, and untold stories from world history. Let us honor the memory of those lost by learning from the past and working toward a more peaceful tomorrow. Until next time, keep seeking the shadows, where history's deepest truths often lie hidden.